I've had this overwhelming feeling, this crippling thought, and I don't think that I'm the only one that struggles with this, that I'm not worthy of victory. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worried of respect. I'm not worthy of my job. I'm not worthy of all kinds of different things, right? That victory goes to other people, people that have shit figured out, and I'm not, because I don't have it figured out. And of course, I can provide all the evidence in the world, right? I didn't do very well in high school. I made mistakes in my marriage. I made mistakes as a father. I've made mistakes as friends. I've made mistakes, and all kinds of different things, academically, all that kind of stuff, right? It's easy to find evidence, of all your failures. And I think that this crippling thought is that you're not worthy of anything, right? And where it comes from, and what I've discovered is that it's because we have unhealthy comparisons of other people. And that we have this image that other people haven't figured out. And that they're worthy of victory because they're smarter than me, or they make more money, or the other, right? The list goes on and on and on. They're better looking. That's why they have better looking partners, or they have a perfect marriage, so they must do things different and all this kind of other shit. It's all bullshit. No one, I will go out on a limb and say one of the few things I'm pretty sure of is that there's very few people on this fucking planet that have everything fucking figured out. And if they say they do, they're full of fucking shit. And I think that most people struggle with these insecurities. They struggle with these crippling thoughts just like anyone else does. And I think a lot of it is that the cure for this, more and more I'm starting to realize, is that everyone's kind of wired the same. We all have our little idiosyncrasies. We all feel like that we're failures on some level. We all have, our sexual choices, and some that aren't, right? And we all have these wirings that are a little weird and different, and they're not failures, and they're worthy. We're all worthy to be human beings. And I think that the hardest person that we have to feel worthy is to ourselves. And it was funny, I was listening to Neil Gaiman today, and he talked about, he was asked how he makes decisions in his life and why he's so a prolific writer. And he says, well, one of the things I learned pretty easy is that I don't have a degree. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to college. I didn't do those things. And I always feel like that sometimes some guy in a suit's going to show up and tell me, you're going to have to go get a normal fucking job and get in line like everyone else. You're not worthy of victory and all this other stuff. And how he overcame that was saying, I want to get to that fucking mountain over there. And whatever decision I make in my life, if it's getting me closer to the mountain, then I do it. If it's not, I don't. And sometimes that means I'm going to take less money. Sometimes that means I'm not going to get a job that I want. Sometimes it's going to mean that I have to leave people in my life. And I feel like that I get this overwhelming defiance that rises up in me, and it says basically the same shit. Get closer to the fucking mountain. If it's not getting me closer to the mountain, I don't want anything to do with it. So my degrees were get over this thought that you can't do it. You can. And I did. Get over this thought that you're not worthy, for partners and those types of things. Well, I'm working on that. Get over this thought that you're not a good enough father. I am. And here's the thing, is that once you start kind of putting it in the proper perspective, and you really understand that no one has this shit all figured out, it's okay. It's okay. It has to come from within you. We're all fucking fumbling our way through this shit. And the thing is that I am worthy to be loved by my parents. I know I wasn't a perfect child, but it's okay. I'm worthy. I'm worthy to be loved by a partner. I'm worthy to be loved by my kids, even though I've had my failures. they may not have feel like I did the perfect job with them, but I did the best I could, and I know I did. But it's on them. It's on my friends that I've lost to come back into my life. Sometimes I need to leave them behind, right? It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. That's why I write this shit. It's not just for me. Of course, I'm just airing out the shit that I think about, to let people know that you're not by yourself thinking this shit. And I want to know that I'm not alone thinking this shit. And sometimes I feel like I just need to say shit that other people don't want to talk about, because I think that the part of things is that we're so busy trying to project this, perfect life that we're all trying to fucking strive to have. Like, if I don't, if I post anything hard, then people won't like me or some shit. Fuck that. That's where the defiance comes in. And I'm getting defiant as fuck. So it's that time for me. I can tell I'm going to start walking closer to the mountain. I don't know how it's going to look, but at least I've had that corrective mechanism in my life. But I just want you guys to all know that many of us struggle with this shit. And you're not the only one. And I'm certainly got to remind myself that I'm not the only one. Because it can be, feel pretty lonely between those 2 ears, right? I certainly feel it. Anyway, there you go, my clarity.